Good morning. Friday, coffee and a card. Here we are. Actually, it's not Friday, it's Saturday. So, just to clarify, yesterday I had cards for troops. So, on every third Friday, pretty religiously, we do the cards for troops at a local coffee shop. So, I postpone coffee and a card here with you live. And I like to switch up at different times because not everybody can do Friday morning or regular time. So on those off days, off weeks, then sometimes I might do an evening, sometimes I might do a Saturday morning. And once in a while, I just get too tied up and we have to skip it completely for that week. But this way, different people can come on a Saturday morning. Maybe not everybody's working. Maybe on an evening, we can catch some people in different time zones. So it's all good. Don't forget to say good morning in the comments. Say hello, where you're from. And if you're in the US, you're entered into my raffle for a little prize. Right here, I have my raffle winner from last week. And the person's going to get some embellishments that I have here. I'm just hiding the name until we get more people on, and then we'll reveal who that is. Okay. So, okay, don't please hop on. Say good morning. Today I have my life is good mug, and I actually have a matching shirt. Let me stand up a little bit there. Here we go. Keep it simple. I got the daisies and the mug, the coffee, and we are um, celebrating the simple things in life. Let's put it that way, right? So I have some tea this morning. Didn't make a pot of coffee. It was just one of those mornings that I kind of slept in a little later than usual. So I was up late the night before. So it was crazy. Anyway, who got snow yesterday overnight? Anybody? We got about 3 inches of wet snow, but it didn't stick to the road so much. It's all melted. Nothing's on the road. Didn't need plow. Didn't need shoveling of the sidewalk. There's a little snow on the cars and the grass. Actually, about 3 inches. I wouldn't say a little, but um, and a little bit in the driveway where there's not quite so much sun. But anybody else get snow? Okay, we're here in the Baltimore area. I know different people were getting different amounts, and yeah, okay. So from Maryland, Debbie too. Yep. Is it still snowing, Jackie? Wow. Okay. No, I know, Patty, you're not getting snow. That would be an odd thing. But you've had it before. I imagine it's happened, right? Right. So I'm drinking my tea today and hope you're joining in with your morning beverage. And we're going to do a little card. I did have a cold over the week from last weekend, as many of you probably saw or heard. We had a great Super Bowl raffle. Didn't have a ton of people, but you know what? Those people got a lot of prizes. All right. So, and it was fun. Okay. Especially if you're not too into the game, it makes it a little extra fun too. So, yeah, I think I gave away about 12 or 13 prizes during the game. And then at the end, the winner for the mystery raffle got close to $70 in products. So, yep. Congratulations there, you guys. That was really good. My friend Julia, who lives right here in Maryland, she won the grand prize raffle. So by 5 inches, I'm seeing still snowing. 5 inches over 3. Okay, yep. Lynn is in Maryland as well. Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, it's beautiful sunny now too. I love the white snow against the real blue sky and a few clouds in there and little clumps of snow on the trees. It's just really pretty. So that's the kind you want where it's not affecting your driving and it looks pretty, right? And we were saying this would have been nice for Christmas, kind of a thing. Yeah. All right. So good morning, everybody. Say hello. And you know what I've done? If you recognize somebody that's on here that you see all the time, give him a personal hello. Say hello to somebody you recognize. Okay. Chat with each other. I see some new names on here. I see some people on Facebook, some people on YouTube. So that's great. I'm glad I'm able to do both so that people can choose whichever platform you like. Some people are not on Facebook, I know. So that's why I've posted the Facebook replay up to YouTube before, but now you can participate live. That's the whole idea of the live, a little chit chat, a little engagement, ask questions, say hello. And I'm not going to do quite as much talking this time, which is kind of good. We'll get right to the projects, and this way I won't end up coughing. So anyway, um, in my email, in my newsletter email, I presented a challenge to people who might want to take advantage, and I gave elements of a card. I didn't give measurements. I didn't give specific products to use. I just gave basic ingredients. It's kind of like, those cooking shows. Okay, they give you a basket. Here are the things that you have to use. Make sure you have these things and go for it. So there wasn't a contest, but it's just kind of curious to see what some of you came up with. Okay, what the criteria were, and I will switch this over so that we can see here. You can see better. I wanted you to have just a folded fold base. I'm getting mixed up here. A folded card base. Is that blurry? I'm trying to get it in view here. Okay, a folded card base. One additional layer of some kind. All right. 2 overlapping rectangles. A strip of cardstock or DSP, some kind of cut image. So that could be die cut, punched, fussy cut. Okay, something like that. That's cut out and could be popped up. A sentiment, of course. Although not all cards need sentiments. You can leave them as note cards and then write whatever you want inside. Dimensionals, of course. And ribbon, twine, or embellishments. Okay. So actually, the ones I'm going to show you today have ribbon. Okay, I didn't use embellishments. It's got enough stuff going on in there. And so before we get started, I'm going to reveal my raffle winner, and that is from last week, Carol Carpenter. Congratulations, Carol. Don't know if you're on. If you're on, say good morning. And if not, then I hope you see the replay, and I hope that you contact me. Give me your I know your name. Give me your address so I can send you these embellishments. Now, these are retired from the last catalog. You can't get these anymore. So lucky you, you will be getting a pack of them. And this might be my last pack. So I loved these. I gave them out to a lot of people. The adhesive back glitter sequins. Okay, you've got some nice spring colors. They were in the holiday catalog, but they're great for spring, right? That spring green and the light blues and the whites. So congratulations, Carol. Give me your information. I could send those out to you. Alrighty. So you guys make sure you put something in the comments. And like I said, if you are in the US, then I can send that to you. If you're not in the US, the shipping is too much for me. But I do appreciate you joining in, and I give you my thanks for joining the group. If you're watching the replay, thank you as well. And we will have a lot of fun making this card today. Okay, so keeping those elements in mind, this was the card that gave me some inspiration. This is something we did a long time ago. I think I may have done it at one of my workshops with my New York girls. And basically, let's do our checklist. We have a folded card base, right? I didn't put my white inside, but that's what we have. We have a layer of some kind. That's my DSP here. Notice it's half the card. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. It is another layer. That counts. And then I have actually another layer. This is a strip. Here's my strip of cardstock that I have embossed. Again, these are old products, retired. And then I have my ribbon, which is going across as another layer to my strip. And I have my 2 rectangles that are overlapping here. They could be straight on or askew, whatever, as long as it has 2 rectangles of some sort. And here are my die cut, fussy cut elements. Okay, again, that's retired punch, retired paper. The looks like the crumb cake and the pretty peacock are the only current products on there, but that's okay. It's good. So I wanted you to start with a crumb cake base. You could certainly start with something else that's a very light neutral, because we're going to be stamping directly onto the cardstock for the sentiment. We have enough things popping up in layers here that I didn't want another sentiment popping up here and have something else to detract from this. So this is our focal point, and we have our nice little message subtle on the side. All right, so I'm going to show you two versions of what I did here. Maybe I'll just keep this here so that we can refer back. I'm going to take a cup of sip here. Keep my throat hydrated before I talk too much and get choked up a little bit here. Okay, good morning, everybody. All right. Yeah, I see some familiar names and some new names. I love it. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, I'm starting with my crumb cake base. Like I said, you can start with another light color if you wish. Of course, burnish that with your bone folder. And my next layer is a piece of designer paper. I did give you measurements in the description for my coffee and card to make this card. But to fit this criteria, you can use any sizes you like. But just for this card, I did give you the measurements. I am using, for my DSP designer series paper, I have to remember to keep saying that because I assume everybody knows what DSP is, but not everybody does. Maybe you're new to stamping. Maybe you're not familiar with the Stampin' Up! Products, but we call it DSP, which stands for Designer Series Paper, which gives you all these pattern papers of 12 by 12 double-sided. All right, so this particular one, this one sheet has all these different smaller patterns on it, so you can cut them up and you don't have to do much measuring. You could just use that as your focal point if you like. A lot of these patterns are in the full size sheets as well, but this kind of gives you a variety. So you can use that. So, but what I did was I wanted to use this one, and there wasn't a full sheet of this. So I cut this one here. Now, what the measurements I gave you, actually, here's my piece. I gave you 2 1/4 by 5 1/2 to go across the whole card. That's what I did on this one here. It goes all the way to the edge of that card. This piece goes to 5 1/4, but that's okay because we're just going to have a little border then on the side. So whichever way you like to go with that is fine. And put that in the back there. And I will get, here we go. Okay, so the designer series paper is fresh as a daisy. It's in the regular catalog. And I chose this piece here for my focal point because I wanted a nice, big, bold image to be on that piece of designer paper. This is 2 1/2 inches tall by 2 1/4 wide. I'm putting them the tall way for my first card. For the second one, for the second one, I'm going to put them horizontally. Not intentional. I just cut it without thinking, and that's okay because it's going to work. You can make it work. And then I have Lemon Lolly for my base. This one is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. So basically just 1/4 inch bigger than the designer paper. Okay, so those are those elements there. Yeah, so this is the fresh as a daisy paper. Okay, and then my strip of crumb cake, I've embossed with Cane Weave embossing folder. Okay, it's a nice generic one. It could work for more feminine or masculine cards, so I kind of like that. It's subtle, but creates a nice image too. It's not too subtle. So it does look like those chairs, right? Those those cane chairs that you can sit on your porch or near the beach or something like that. So that's going to be there because this is so bold. We needed something that was going to be strong enough to work nicely together, but not be too overwhelming either. Okay, and the cane weave reminds me of more natural things like the flowers. Okay, there's just a little background as to why I chose certain things. Here's my piece that's 2¼ by 5¼ You can certainly go 5½ all the way to the edge. So that's all good. You can even make this a little bit shorter if you like. It's all up to you. So then we're just going to put this together. I'm going to just kind of lay it out before I actually do any gluing down. We are going to overlap these. Now, if you like things all straight and even, you can certainly line it up like that, like a frame, and put it on there. That's perfectly fine. It's your card and it will still look beautiful. I'm going to put this one like I did on my sample, a little askew, a little offset, just for something different. And then put this one a little off to the side too. If you notice, the designer paper on here is pretty straight compared to the edges of the card, and it's the cardstock underneath that is tilted. So if you want to kind of use that as a guide as to how much should you angle it, okay, that's fine too. So I'm just having those corners kind of go off a little bit to just give it a little bit of a random look to it there. Okay, we'll have a sentiment over here. I will use from Cheerful Daisies that coordinates with the DSP. Notice I have this napkin in here because I saw the daisies on the napkin and the leaves reminded me of the set. And I said, okay, this is going to be my inspiration for a card one day. I'm going to try to use those colors and duplicate that. Has anybody else ever tried that? You see a pattern or you see a card and you want to copy it? Tell me if you've done that there. Okay, we're going to pick this small sentiment here because it will fit. And it's going to be perfect for my random card that I send out today. Some of you may have seen my post for Lent. Instead of giving up something, I'm going to be giving and sending a card every day to somebody new that is not suspecting a card. So bring a little cheer to somebody, and a lot of people are going to be doing the same thing too. So even if you don't end up sending 40 cards or one a day, you could do a bunch at one time, or you know what, send 2 cards. Okay, just send a card to somebody, make somebody happy. I sent one recently to a good friend of mine in New York who sends out lots of cards, and and she was so happy to get my card. She says, I send out so many cards, and it is nice to receive them. Even though she sends them, it's not like she doesn't like to receive them either. She said, it was so nice to get a card this time. So that was very nice. Nice of her to say that, and nice, I'm glad that I was able to bring a smile to her face that day. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in Pretty Peacock because it coordinates with my cardstock colors, with my DSP rather, and it's dark enough to show up on the crumb cake. I'm going to do that first because if it gets messed up, I can use this for something else and not ruin the whole card. Okay. I love the Pretty Peacock. Just, I don't know. I'm just so glad it came back. All right. I'm going to make sure that this is nice and flat when I stamp it. It says, your friendship means everything. I want to make sure it's straight. There we go. Very nice. I love how a lot of the fonts on the cards are a mixture of some cursive and some print. Makes it fun, makes it interesting. Okay, so my strip is going to overlap. It's going to go halfway on the crumb cake and halfway on the DSP. So I'm going to glue these pieces down first. Oops, it's the tea time. Hold on, getting dry. Okay, the only problem is it's getting too cool. The tea, that is. Ugh, don't like it when it's that way, but I have to drink. Okay, so I'm just going to leave equal spacing on either side here. So if you want that to be 5 1/4 instead of 5 1/2, that's perfectly fine too, right? Okay, this is 1 inch by 4, embossed with the cane weave. Remember, anything that's embossed, you have less actual surface area. So you want to make sure your glue gets all over the parts that are raised. So that it's going to adhere down. If it gets down into the grooves, those are not touching my paper, and that's not going to do me much good. Okay, I'm just going to leave a little bit of space over here and have them overlap. So in a way, these are overlapping rectangles too, aren't they? So even if I didn't have these rectangles, this would still fit that criteria. They are overlapping rectangles. So you can think of it anyway. Think outside the box. Think of different ways to interpret that. Right, I'm going to glue my DSP onto my lemon lolly. If you want a nice spring yellow, that's it. Daffodil Delight is your great bright yellow, and lemon lolly is just so soft, like a lemon chiffon or lemon pie. Does anybody know the excuse me, the Minute Maid lemon juice that you buy frozen in the in the freezer department? On that box is a recipe for an easy lemon pie. It is so good. I don't necessarily like meringue. It doesn't have meringue on it. You just put your ingredients, some butter, lemon juice, eggs, I guess, into a blender, pour it into your pie shell, and you just bake it. It is really, really good. So give it a try. And you don't have to squeeze all the lemons. If you want to use fresh lemons, go ahead, but use that recipe. We love it. It's one of our summer go-tos. Okay, so this is, we're going to put a piece of ribbon on here now, and the one I'm using it's metallic ribbon. It's pretty peacock it's a very light weave, and it's got some gold in there, so to give it a nice little shine. But it's very, very light see-through weave. So that's going to be my ribbon element. I'm going to lay that over the strip of cardstock. I'm going to pull that edge off. Although, for a little bit more of a shabby look, it's, if you want, you could just use that frayed part. And I would do that on both sides, though, if that was the look I'm going for. I'm going to put that down with some glue dots because I think that will hold best. And liquid glue won't seep through because, like I said, it's a very light weave. And some of this, these rectangles here will cover it anyway. I am lucky enough to still have a little bit of the glue dots where the glue dots are on the part that you don't peel off first. The new ones are on here, and many of us don't like it that way because it's easier to press your glue dots on when it's on the spool still, right? Okay. I'm down to my last few of these, though, unfortunately. All right, I'll put those down there. Also, glue dots are pretty strong and will hold onto the embossed pieces better. Oops. That one didn't come off. Or I missed that side. I don't know. There you go. I'm glad you like the cards, guys. Oh, here it is. It's on there. I saw somebody say they're definitely going to try this. I'm glad. We all like when there's a card that just catches you. Say, yeah, I love that. I'm going to do that. Unfortunately, there are too many of those for me. Like, not enough time. Okay, so now that's going to go on there like that, little sideways, but my DSP is actually straight. But now we need our pop-up elements, our cut elements. And I use one of my favorite punches, the bow punch. And this is, I just love the size of, I love the leaves. I love the little flowers that are there. And it's just one of my go-to punches. I use it a lot. You may have noticed. Okay, so on this particular one, my pop-up was something that I had fussy cut out of the designer paper, and I just made that, part of the picture on the DSP. And then I had the punch where I extended the leaves off of here. So this one, I want that daisy to just stay as it is. And I'm going to put these on the outside. I'm going to pick up a little bit of gold that's in the gold elements of the gold foil threads of the ribbon. So, and this is wild wheat, but it does give a feeling of sort of a golden color. So I'm going to actually just put these, just going to lay it out before I make any permanent decisions. I'm going to put this one up here because that will show off more against the crumb cake. And I'm going to put another one down this way. And then I think I'll take this little flower and overlap that over the gold foil that I punched out there, just so it shows up against there as well. So now that I know how I'm going with that, I will start putting it all together. So I think if I put this down with my dimensionals, there'll still be room for me to push those stems underneath. Okay, here we go. I still didn't fully unpack for my cards for troops yesterday. We bought a bunch of things, and yeah, like I said, I go out to a coffee shop, so it's not like all my stuff is just here. But we had a good time. We got about 100 cards. We made about 85 or so, and my friend Joanne, did I see Joanne on? I think I saw Joanne on the live here. Joanne, thank you so much for bringing your contributions. She made about another 15 cards. So together we collected about 100 cards and did some more pieces to what our next project will be. Kind of got started on another card. Okay, so we're going to put this here. And I'll pull this in. Let me see if I need to cut my stem. I'm going to cut the stem a little bit. Ooh, not with my fabric scissors, I'm not. Okay, I can cut that off too because it's not going to be seen. There we go. I think that'll be good just like that. Thanks, Patty. Okay, here we go. Get the gold one in there. Let's see. I definitely can trim that off. Don't trim too much until you know where you're going with it. All right, yeah, that can go too because it's getting in the way of the dimensionals. All right, and then now that's the way I want it, just like that. All right. Oh, hi, Barbara. That's my Stampinopolis friend, part of my team. I see some of my team members here. Patty, Michelle. Hi. Is it your favorite color, Michelle? I do love it. Hard to choose a favorite color overall, though, isn't it? Oh, I wanted this way up on top. Okay, Patty's on my team, and Michelle and Barb. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody else, but yeah. So, oh, there's Joanne. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you're able to do that. So, Joanne, next time we'll have lunch, okay? I just wasn't up to it yesterday, but and we forgot to talk about the Facebook group too. Should have reminded me. Maybe we could have done something then. But all right, we'll work it out. Work it out. Okay. There we go. All right, what do you think? You like it? You imagine you could do this with any designer paper, any style. Okay, these obviously are floral. Um, and next one I'm going to try with you this morning is going to be with the Trusty Toolbox designer paper. So it's going to have not a nice, pretty floral, feminine thing. It's going to be a masculine card. It might be good for Father's Day coming up. Well, not too soon, but it'll be here before you know it. Start thinking about your cards. Okay, so there we go for that. And I'm going to use the crumb cake still. I guess maybe Smoky Slate might have worked also. That's a lighter gray. Or gray granite could have worked with this card too. But I'm just keeping with the crumb cake for now because I had a half a sheet left over from this card. So we're just going to go with that. And okay, of course you are, Lynn. You're going to try that with perennial lavender. Lynn is just living for perennial lavender. She loves that DSP, and Lynn is on my team as well. She couldn't wait to get her products. I think she even included that in her starter kit. All right, and speaking of team and starter kits, there's a great deal right now. You can get your starter kit, which is normally $99. You can get it. You can get, instead of $124 worth, $125 worth of stuff, you can get $30 more, $155 for $99. Pick out whatever products you want. And as I've mentioned before, being a demonstrator doesn't mean that you have to do videos. You don't have to hold parties if you don't want to. It's more fun if you stamp with people, of course. And some of my downline are doing that, but some are just hobbyists that are enjoying the discount. Some, actually, several of them use their being a demonstrator and their discount as an outreach to the community. So many make cards for shut-ins or maybe some troops, but church groups. And that is a great service as well. So you get a 20% discount, and as you increase in your title, you can earn up to 25% discount. Okay, so this is the, or you can get, as part of your starter kit, instead of $30 more, you can get the glass mat kit, that bundle, which has, I think it's 14 by 17 size glass mat that you can work on. I've mentioned before, my table here already has a huge glass covering, so I didn't get that. But people are liking it, but it's up to you, whatever you like. So this is a celebration item. The Trusty Toolbox coordinates with a set that's in the catalog. I don't have many tool-oriented people in my family or friend circle that I needed that, but I did like I got the DSP for free with one of my celebration choices. Figure, okay, I can give tools. I can fussy cut the tools out here without having to get the stamp set. The stamp set does have a coordinating die set that will cut out some of these as well, so you don't have to fussy cut them. But I don't mind fussy cutting. It's kind of relaxing to me. I know some people are like, oh, I hate fussy cutting. My friend Laura thinks she's like that. She would rather, I don't know what, rather than fussy cut. All right, so you've got some nuts and bolts. You've got what looks like toolbox drawers. You've got screws and ruler, pegboard, different tools. This and this might look the same at first, but there are different tools there. All right, so I chose my crumb cake. I wasn't sure if I wanted the pegboard or the ruler side. I thought we can play around with it a little bit and see. I again chose Pretty Peacock. I had the paper out already, and actually this is Lost Lagoon. Never mind, it's Lost Lagoon. I'm looking now. Peacock would work. That could work, but you know what? Just to be a little different, maybe I will just get a scrap of Lost Lagoon. This could go either way as well. So this is the one that I said I ended up cutting horizontally. These are hammers that are crisscrossed. So even though the other card went vertically like this, it could go horizontally like this too. It's not a big deal. But I think I would use the other side. I could do that, or we could do that. Okay, think about it for a minute, and we're going to cut out some of the maybe two of these things to be our cutout for and pop it up here. So I don't know. Let's see. Should we do the ruler? You guys think about it for a minute. Well, I'll go get my Lost Lagoon piece of paper. Obviously, we wouldn't do the yellow and the yellow. You could do that too, but I don't know. Something, I'm not too much of a fan of that crisscross thing. I don't know why. So, I don't know, maybe that's too dull. Maybe this. Okay, you guys let me know. And let me just get a scrap of Lost Lagoon. Okay, so the cardstock has to be 2.5 by 2 3/4. Of course, I got a lot of scraps that are smaller. Yeah, see, okay, that matches better. Okay, so that one is already 2 3/4. So just to cut to 2.5. Many elements, an appealing, interesting card. Good, thanks, Daddy. Okay, yeah, Seniors and Widows. It's very nice, Colette. Very nice. All right, let's swap this out. Oh wait, what did I do? I cut to 2 1/4. That should be 2.5. Okay, that's 2 3/4, and this has to be 2.5. There we go. Thought it looked a little tall and skinny. Don't overthink it. Thank you, Lois. That's what I tell you guys all the time, right? Okay, so that could be it. You know what? I think I might like the peacock better even. Well, we have options. They're both there. And what I don't use on this card, I'll use on something else. It's not going to go to waste, that's for sure. Now I have to figure out which tools I want to cut. The paper snips and Stampin' Up! Has are great, nice sharp points, and they're super, super sharp. I've even learned recently that you can take these on a plane with you because the shaft is small enough and it's covered in this little sheath here too. So these are allowed. Your tweezers or nail clippers may not be, but these are, believe it or not. Okay, I do like that little tape measure, and I want to bring in some red here. So a tape measure, but that's not going to be too big for the card either. And let's see. Anybody else have an idea what other tool I should cut? Let me bring these out as well. Okay, the tape measure and I'm thinking, I don't want too big, but I want it to be, a standard tool. I'm leaving a teeny tiny border of white all the way around. Different rules for fussy cutting. If your outline to your image is really thick, then you can cut right up to the line. But if your image has a thin outline and you cut right to the line, you're going to probably lose that outline and it might not look so well defined. So it's okay to leave just a teeny tiny bit of white around. You just want to keep your scissors moving. I like to steer my paper. Notice my right hand is staying still as I steer the paper through the scissors. Okay, and very often when you die cut, it leaves a little bit of a border as well, most of the time. Okay, so we'll have that one, and I guess we'll want to consider the might want to consider the colors, right? And we can still decide on flipping these. Okay, Shauna likes a pegboard side. Do that. You can use the hammers there. We could do that. All right. Well, let's see. While I'm fussy cutting my other, I guess a hammer is a pretty iconic thing. Just a matter of which one. Okay, we have a brown handled one here. Sorry. Guess my computer was run out of charge, so I had to plug it in. Luckily, I'm back. It says I'm still live. So lost connection to my extra camera. Okay, well that's okay. All right, we're still on. Whew, thank goodness. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. All right, we somebody says the drill. Somebody says the paintbrush. Ooh, that's a good one. C-clamp. Okay. All these decisions. Still haven't decided which side of the here I want to. I'll do a hammer. Like I said, if I don't like it, I'll use it on something else. And where's the C-clamp? Oh, over here. That might be, I could cut it out. I might not feel like doing that one right now. Paintbrush is good. The paintbrush is brown, like this hammer here. Maybe I'd want something different. All right, let me get the paintbrush. And then maybe something in the Lost Lagoon. I know, we think a lot about these things. I'm not saying don't think about that stuff. You have to see what works. You have to try things. Let me add my other camera now that I'm got more charge. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I think those are good. If I did another hammer, I think I'd do a different color. Let me switch this over. All right, we're back. All right, how about this wrench? Just to get that other color in there. Okay, I'm using my scissors that are dedicated to glue. They're okay, but these are so much nicer. Nice, sharp blades to there. Okay. I have to admit, I'm probably the one who enjoys tools more around in my household. There were some times I asked for tools for Christmas, like a small drill and things like that. Okay, I can cut this little thing out here. All right, so I know this is taking a little bit of time to decide. The others were already kind of decided. But kind of nice to see the process sometimes, the thought that goes behind why you chose what you chose. And so what designer paper or sets or what ideas do you have for your cards? Those of you who are going to try this card, what are you thinking of trying it with? And when you have your card done, I hope you share on our page here. You can put your cards and your creations, your comments in the comments section. And of either this video, well, or the one after, or you can do the one that talks about the challenge where I've been posting my my creations there too. All right, now I'm going to decide here, and I'm also going to get okay, this one is Heartfelt Hellos. It's also a celebration item that coordinates with a heartfelt hexagon, the hexagon punch. So this one says, Dad, you're the best. We will use that as our sentiment over here. It is small. And like you said, we don't make too many masculine cards, so we may as well take advantage here. Okay. Let's decide which side. Decide which side. If I do the rulers, then it's going to be this one. Like that. You know what? I do like the peacock better because it adds contrast to that Lost Lagoon. This is like too much of the same. I like having the other shade in there. So, all right, that's my decision there. And I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to use this because I think there's more contrast. It's a little brighter. And yeah. All right, I'll still use peacock because it's here and it will tie in with that. Dad, you're the best. Do your stamping first. And you know what? I might want to put this one closer, maybe more down here. I'll put it in the middle. Okay, not too bad. T is a little weird, but that's okay. All right, so then my strip, I used the timber embossing folder, of course, because of the wood, right? And that's going to go right there. So I'll glue those down and we'll get this card all put together. And I think this one is going to need some metallic embellishments just to bring in a metal look to it, right? Thanks for your input, whether I went with it or not. All right. Oh, good, Jackie. All right. Our minds think alike, right? Love it. Okay. I'll put these together. Okay. And you know, I could still use the hammer maybe down here, even if I don't use the whole thing. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. If it's too busy, I'll bag that idea. Now, how do I want these here? Now, these could be even hanging off. I like that more in front, I think. Maybe this go over here more. Right, maybe like that. Whatever. It's all good. All right, so I'll stick this down first. I think I'll glue some down and I'll pop one of them up with dimensionals. I think I want this on top so I see the ruler. So this one will go up on dimensionals. This one will go flat. I'm glad you like that, Patty. Thanks. Or for a woman who likes tools, right? But yeah, we're always looking for something for the guys. All right, let's get the dimensionals here. So I was helping my grandson and granddaughter make some cards for my husband for his birthday. And I said to the little guy, he's done some stamping before. We had something that had dimensionals on the back. We did Alligator from the Jungle Pals. And getting to the snout, I said, well, let's use the mini dimensionals. That would fit better. He said, no, Grandma, you can just cut some of these edges here and use those instead. He's 5. He's 5. So that's what he wanted to do. So that's what we did. That's what I'll do here. Because this one I want long and skinny to hold up that edge of the tape measure. And of course, he wanted to he said, let's put another one right over here for good measure. Just to, okay. Just want to make sure that wasn't going to fall off or do something. All right. I like it. I hope you do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put one in the middle. 5. Okay, there we go. Oh, a ribbon. How could I forget? Need a ribbon thing across here. This is faux leather trim. Faux leather trim. It looks just like a suede leather. It's very soft. It's got a little bit of a gold or coppery sheen to it. And that's going to go across my strip here. So elements of masculine cards, when you're making something, I mean, not to stereotype, but a lot of things that work are obviously kind of some rustic things, things that might have wood grain on them, things that have a metallic look to them are good, or a leathery look to it. Like I said, I don't mean to stereotype, but I'm just saying traditionally those things can work if you want more of that look to a card, no matter who you're giving it to. All right. And now this will go over there. Now, you know what? I'm going to move this middle dot because I don't want it resting on top of that. That has some thickness to it. And so I'm just going to move, maybe use a half a dimensional above and below. And that way it'll span across that ribbon. It won't be so bulky. Okay. Oh, hi, Lydia. My cold is much, much better. I still have a little leftover sniffles, but and if I talk too much, it makes my throat dry. But I'm good. Thank you. All right. And so your husband's a contractor. Hey, Lydia, were you the one who sent me cards? Did you send me a card? Because I saw Lydia with an I. Do you spell your name with an I sometimes? I couldn't remember if that was you or not, or is it a different Lydia? All right, so there we go. Oh, we said some metallic elements here. Let's see. Okay, so we have these brushed metallic adhesive back dots. I'm going to use these bronze looking ones because that's a little more subtle. Oh, okay. All right. I was a little confused because I saw with an I. I said, oh, I wonder how she spells her name. Okay, so let's do maybe a big one up here. And we'll put a couple down here. All right. I love it. I love it. This is the first thing I made with this paper. Ta-da. All right, so this is what we have so far, and we're coming up right on an hour. How about that? What timing. So we have that one that we did today. We have this one that we did today. And this was the original inspiration. All right. So not much longer till the end of the month. When celebration ends, you can get that tool paper for free with a $50 purchase, and other products that have been added. You can see them online. There are more things to choose from now than are just in the celebration brochure. So make sure you check those out. Go online. You can go to my store, which is Lorraine Sich, C-I-C-H, at stampitup.net. And I did have a banner here with that on there. Let me see if I can find that. Yep, here we go. Ta-da! Oh, I'm so fancy. And so that's my online store. You can shop there and place your order, earn your free celebration things. If you're thinking of joining, you can join right from there as well. And if you want to talk about benefits of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then contact me and I'll be glad to arrange a phone call for you. Maybe in sometime during the week, I will have a little forum right here on Facebook and YouTube for anybody who has questions or is interested in learning more about the join offer or about being a demonstrator. And I invite my downline to give any feedback into that too. What do you enjoy most about being a demonstrator? You need to put some ideas right here. If you're still on, you can say what you really like. And we have team meetings. We support each other. Like I said, some are trying to start a little business. Some are just hobbyists. Some reach out to our community and enjoy using our discount in that way as well. So anyway, thank you so much for hopping on. And Carol, make sure that you contact me to get your prize. And I really appreciate you all supporting each other, not just me, but each other. I love bringing everybody together for something that we love to do. And I hope you try these cards and you post some of your own too. All righty. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week and see you next time.